Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne, and it has been a very unusual February in the fact that it's really warm and there's very little snow cover. You can see that the lake actually has no ice on it, and this is very rare to happen before March. But I'm going to take advantage of this time and do some assessment of the yard as well as some early pruning. It's very important that we can do pruning, but the stems should not be frozen. So we've got a lot of 40 and 50 degree days. So this is a perfect time to get out there and get some of those chores started. The first thing you need to do is realize why you are pruning. In the case of these panicle hydrangeas, I'm reducing the size. I'm going to use a series of what's called heading back cuts as well as thinning cuts, which is very common on almost any type of pruning. But you can see I have reduced the size by about 1/3. It was a very large hydrangea, over 10 foot tall. Again, this is limelight. You can see these nice pruning cuts that I've made at an angle and above buds. And I've also done some thinning on this plant. Again, quite a few different techniques for pruning. In the case of these ash leaf spirea along the lake, I'm going to do some complete rejuvenation pruning. That would mean that I'm going to take these long and leggy plants all the way back to the ground. Here you can see a section that I've taken back just a few inches above the ground. And this can be done with certain plants such as dogwoods. You could even do a lilac this way. And again, of course, these ash leaf spireas. I'll start to cut back my ornamental grasses very soon. That'll be part of the early spring cleanup. I'm also going to do some what would be called renewal pruning, and I will do these on the weigela. And renewal pruning can be done where you remove 1/3 of the old stems. So I will do that on some of these plants, and then each year remove an additional 1/3 so that in 3 years the plant is completely rejuvenated. It's really too early to clean up the leaves and uncover perennials. I do expect that we're going to get quite a few cold days yet, so I'm going to leave those plants still protected until probably another month from now. A good general rule for pruning shrubs is that anything that blooms before July, that would be stuff that blooms in the springtime, such as a lilac or forsythia, should be pruned immediately after flowering. When it comes to these panicle hydrangeas, as I mentioned, they bloom in the summertime in August, so therefore they can be pruned at this time of the year. It's also a great time to do some planting. We have some limited brochures at the nursery and some great ideas from proven winners on hardy hydrangeas and roses and native shrubs, as well as some great ideas in the Gardening Simplified catalog. There are a lot of ideas here, but you do want to be very site specific. You do want to make sure that you match the conditions in your own yard so that you're selecting the right type of plants. So everything in those catalogs is not necessarily good for your yard, but we do have an expert team to help you out and some additional Indiana accredited horticulturists coming aboard so that they can help you with your selections. So I want to thank you for joining Wednesdays with Wayne, sponsored by Niemeyer's Landscape Supply. And remember, beautiful landscapes start here.